Welcome back to PJ Chen Design. This is PJ. In today's Jewelry CAD tutorial, I would like to show you using Rhino 3D software step by step to getting into this flower pendant. It will be easier than what you think. Are you ready? Let's get started. That's starting with the prong set ready to do the shape design on the side. And if you wanted to know how to do the prong set, I have several videos that I will put in the description below for the link to learn this setting. But let's say you have the stone for a desired size and you also set it the prong set is ready to do the design on the side. So what I like to do first to actually define the area I'm going to do the design. So let me draw a square and snapping into the center, type it 0. And I want to hold the shift to know like what is the size I'm going to design for. And so probably something like this. So the second thing is I want to draw an arc. So this arc, it's going to snapping into the midpoint to the midpoint. Something slightly bent, maybe like this. Okay, so this is the curve we want to work on. Now I want to design is coming higher where it connected to this point and coming lower back to the two end over there. So I'm gonna draw my first cross section and again I want to snapping into the end point and coming over here for whatever how tall I want it to have. So roughly about this size and make it a little bit rounder on the side. So if we do the sweep one rail, and this is the rail, this is the cross section, and then you'll probably will get something like that. However, at the end, you see it's not flush with this square that we want. To fix this problem, the simple way is to mirror that piece, move it to the other end. So I will have something like this. Let's take a look. I wanted to use the sweep one rail, and this is the rail cross section 1 and 2 and align them nicely, and then you'll get something like this. All right, so notice that this is actually very good intersect with this piece right here. So I would like to creating a surface, and with the 3 points starting with the 0 point, this is the second point, and then I want to bring it higher by holding the shift command, and I'll get something like this. Just want to make sure they are intercept. I'm going to move this one in a little bit. And so what I wanted to do is find out where is the center cross section there. So I can simply type it the command intersect and pick up this shape and this shape. So that will create a curve over there. Now I can delete this one. I can delete this one. All right, so now we have the 3 cross section. I'm gonna turn them into the red color. And then basically for those two, I actually want them to be shorter. So we're going to scale 1D, snapping here and here, and move it down a little bit like this. So then I can have the short to the tall to the short on my sweep. Let's try it one more time. Sweep one rail. Cross, cross, and cross, and make sure they are aligned on the bottom right in the middle, and then we can have something like this. All right, if that look okay to you, let's go ahead to click OK. So once you have this one, you can just simply just cap it, and all we need to do is polarate this guy. And now I'm looking at it, I feel like the middle one, it should be a little bit thicker. So actually I wanted to 1D scale this guy from the quadrant to the quadrant and just have it coming in a little bit, something like that. And let's do it again. Sweep one rail. You got rail cross section 1, 2, and 3. Want them to all align on the bottom, and hit enter, and that's actually recorded history just in case we want to change it again. Right, so on the top you do have it coming from the small to the big to the small. Okay, and maybe this one is sticking out a little bit too much, and you may want to move it in a little bit so you don't feel like this is a big bump there. Okay, all right, so if you like the result, just go ahead and cap it. So the cap command, if you like to know, is actually this guy right here on the second row that you can extract the surface, and then the opposite is the cap. Okay, so you can cap the planar hole there. All right, so we are going to use the polar array and snapping into the 0, and I want to have 4 of them, and hit enter, and then you'll get something like this. Okay, so now we finished that part. The second part I like to do is the circle. So let's go ahead and select the circle tool and snapping into the quadrant, the middle, I think the middle of the square. So you got that one there. Now we like to know what is the cross section gonna look like. So I'm going to use the rectangle and snapping into the quadrant at my circle here, and have something just a little bit higher than what I have there. Maybe a little bit wider, and then I can move it in a little bit to cover that area, so that way we can make sure they are intersect and we can boolean unit together. So we're going to do is the surface commands, sweep one rail. They got the rail, you got the cross section, and you will get the shape there. Okay, now to making a circle on top of it, we can simply do in the polar array by making this mirrogram, starting with the circle and snapping somewhere here, and you do not want it to hanging outside like that. You want it to be just about the similar width. And let's go ahead to moving this one up a little bit. All right, so if this is a irregular shape, you can use a ray along the curve, but since this is just in the circle, so what I like to do is pick up this one, and I wanted to use the polar array, snapping into the 0, and I wanted to have how many, I'm not so sure, maybe 60 of them. And you wanted to do is like, this is overlapping too much, so maybe I want to reduce the number to 50, so it's not like overlapping too much. I will still able to see the ball, and let's take a look on that in the render view. Okay, so very last part we need to do is the flower petal, and it's coming from inside and hop over the edge of that big circle on the outside. So what I like to do is to select all the curve first, and then I'm going to invert it selection and just lock a bunch of them so we don't accidentally to snapping it somewhere. Let's go ahead to draw a curve for what outline is going to look like. So I'm gonna use the arc, snapping somewhere about here and snapping somewhere here and coming out an arc like this. And I would like to mirror to the other side by giving a mirror, snapping into the 0 and the endpoint here. So then I have this curve over here. So now we need to make it into the petal, and if you don't like this really sharp over here, you could giving a fillet, and I'm just try to have maybe 1.5 in between here and here, so they will be a little bit rounded. It's up to you on the design. Just want to let you know there's an option. You don't always need to end up with the really sharp end. And then I'm going to simply just join them and split again with the point and right in the middle here. Okay, so now I have this guy here. Before we creating the cross section, I do wanted to make them a little bit bump in the middle. So let's go ahead to moving those point up like this. And now I'm looking at this. This is actually not that pretty because there's a kink there that I forgot. So what I like to do is explode this one, delete this one and this one. Instead of making the arc, I'm going to use the blend command I'm gonna blend in between here and here, so it's much nicer and round and follow the direction. So let's go ahead to join those three and split again with the point right at the quadrant. So the beginning may not need to be on very bottom. I want it coming out from the middle of the design. I would like to design a little bit different from the one that I showed you at the beginning. I actually wanted to have my petal with some interesting shape. So I'm gonna starting with the oval, something like this, and I'm going to making some more like an engraving cut. So let's do a triangle, snapping into the quadrant, and we want a number of size to be 3. And for something like this, all right, gonna move this one to the side, making a copy, rotate it a little bit, and have that one mirror to the other side like this. Okay, so let's go ahead to select everybody and click the place that we don't need. Oops. And join them together. All right, so this is going to be my cross section, and I'm going to moving this one to there by using the command for oriented to point, and I want to snapping into this quadrant to this quadrant. Now right here on the top, we don't actually need a copy, but we do want to scale, and we want to scale 3D. All right, so then I have this end to that end there. All we need to do is rotate it a little bit, and we want a 3D rotation in between here to here, and I do want to rotate it more like toward to the direction I'm going for. Alright, let's give it a try. Maybe it's a little bit too fat, but I'm gonna give it a try first. Let's try it with the sweep to rail. You got rail 1, rail 2, cross section, and then you'll get something like this. Alright, I think that looked nice. So I'm going to use a command cap again to close it. And in fact, I need it to be inside because it's like stick it out a lot. Proportionally, it doesn't look too nice there. And make sure button is intersect. And if it is need to be rotated, what we can do is we can reset the gumbo, and we want to reset it the gumbo, relocated the gumbo, and we want to snapping into this endpoint, this endpoint, and anywhere for the third one. So what it does is allow us to do this kind of a rotation, and then after that I can move it down like this. So it's the B is behind the petal shape. Okay, if that look nice to you, just go ahead to polar array for 4 of them in 360 degree. Let's unlock the object. So all you have to do is add in the jump ring and adding the bell, then you will get this shape over here. I hope you enjoyed the video. A lot of students told me the most difficult things for them to learn jewelry CAD design is not the learning material. It's actually they cannot find an answer online or finding anybody to ask their questions. My jewelry CAD class comes with private group coaching, which I personally will answer your question weekly and guide you through your learning process. Check out the Jewelry CAD Masterclass from PJ Chen Design. I hope to see you there and be part of our community. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next.